Hello everyone and welcome to this exclusive masterclass for the Rugby Academy. In today's lesson, I'll be teaching you how to become the best possible rugby player you can be and also how you become pro. Now this video is pretty much just for the person who really wants to live their dreams and just turn a corner and actually go pro. You're having some problems and you just can't make it at the moment, or you just have issues in your game where you need to address, or you're not even sure how to address. Maybe you're missing a lot of tackles, maybe you're not making line breaks, and you're just not getting noticed, but you know deep down inside you've got a lot to give. What this isn't for is people who like rugby, but it isn't their dream. They don't live and breathe rugby, and they don't really want to take it any further. So if this is for you, I would suggest you just stop the video, get off, because it's not really going to benefit you. This is mostly for the most dedicated players with a huge work ethic and really want to advance in their career. So, is this worth your time, this webinar? You could be doing a lot of things, watching Netflix, on Facebook, Instagram, but it's not really going to get you anywhere. So, I mean, this is pretty important stuff. So I would say grab a pen and paper and start taking notes, because you will learn something. The next 20 minutes is quite crucial. So if anything resonates with you, definitely write it down so you don't forget it, or you can go back and watch this again. But I would definitely take notes and really think about the things that I'm talking here and see if it resonates with you. Anyway, who am I and why should you listen to me? There's a lot of rugby coaches out there. A lot of people believe their way is the best. So my experience with rugby is I did play 14 years of pro rugby and rugby league. So I grew up, when I was 18, I played my first NRL game in the National Rugby League here in Australia. I played for about 8 years there, and then went over to France, and I also played in Melbourne, and I changed to rugby union. So I have that 14 years of experience. I played with and against some of the best players in the world in both codes. So I got to learn a lot there, but also being coached and mentored by the best rugby minds in the game, and also strength and conditioning coaches. And you'll find why it's so important to find a good strength and conditioning coach and kind of blend the both things if you do want to go pro. Now, to use the biggest problem you'll face, well, there's a lot of problems, but a few of them will be easy to be solved and some of them will be very hard to be solved. So maybe you're just missing a couple, like 5 tackles in a game, where tackles, if you're missing 5 tackles being a pro, you just won't make it. We have to really get down that to 2 or 3, not even 3, I would say 1 or 2 tackles a game, because they do add up in the season. And the coach doesn't want a person who's missing 5 or plus more tackles. And it could be a lot of things. It could be your strength is not good enough, your technique's not good enough. Most of the time, it's usually a mindset issue. But that's to go of everything of these points I've dotted down. Rugby is quite a complex game. It's simple, but it's quite complex, and you have to know what you're actually doing and what you're trying to achieve. Another thing, you might be having a time in attack, a really hard problem. Well, I find a lot of people just not having an impact in attack. They just haven't got any energy. They're not really making any breaks. And it's hard to be noticed if you're not making any breaks or really any impact for the team. Not many people notice it. Even if your work rate is very good, you're just not going to make it. Another thing is just making wrong decisions. You could be making wrong decisions, and that could cost your team a lot. And you can't make many wrong decisions in the game, especially if they're resulting in a try against you. And another big one is just a belief system in yourself. If you don't have a belief system in yourself, you can't do anything. Doesn't matter how good you are, how talented you are, you won't make pro. If you want to be a pro, you have to have a great mindset, resilience, and you have to really believe in your ability and believe what you can do, and then the outcome will be positive. So there's a lot of pain and frustrations I just went through. I've been there. I've had years and years of experience before I became pro, and it got me down. It got me down, but what I thought I was good at and what kind of switched me from amateur to a pro was when I failed, I just kept coming back from it. I learned a lesson, and I just didn't try not to make that same mistake, and I'd work and work and work as hard as I could. And the thing is with rugby, you only have a short window to go pro. So this program that I do at the Rugby Academy is only from 18 to 25. I'm not saying you can't make pro after 25, you can do. But these are the main years where you want to really step up and show your mark. So you don't have years and years where you can train and then, okay, one day I'm going to be ready. No, you have to be ready at the right possible time. And that could be in the off season, it could be any time. So if a pro team calls you up and really wants you to have a go of a trial, you have to be ready to go. And you have to be absolutely flying at your best to actually make a mark. So we might as well get started. And what I want to see, the results, and everyone wants to see the results. So really, it's pretty simple rugby if you get everything right. And first of all, I would say you want to dominate in defense and win the contact area every play. If you can do that, you are going to be an asset to any team you're in. Now, there's a problem. You might not be big enough, strong enough. You might not have the mental capacity to be able to do it or the technique, but you will be able to do it. And that's what we're trying to get the results. These are very simple results I've got here. There's many more. But if you can touch on these, you're going to be a really good player. In attack, let's be the most dangerous player in attack. And you're probably thinking, but I'm not that quick. That's fine. A lot of the times is the angles you actually run, the lines you run off people, the way you show the ball, the way you're looking out for gaps. So there's a lot more into play than just being fast. Outrun and out-enthuse your opponent, which outrun, we do a lot of speed work in this program, which everyone should, where usually amateur people don't do it. But we'll get into that down in the webinar. Out-enthuse is probably the biggest thing in rugby. You can have all the experience, but if you're not really enthusiastic of what you're doing, you get blown away by a person who's not even close to be good enough. So that's huge, and we always touch on in enthusiasm in this program. Executing skills under pressure and fatigue, which is a huge one. People can execute skills at training, but if they're a bit tired in the last 20 minutes of the game, or there's pressure, you have to win the game in the next 2 minutes, you have to do a skill to actually get the outcome that you want. People can't do it. They crumble. They crumble. So that's another mindset thing. And it's also putting the time into